There's this one hole that needs patching. I've already sealed it with diluted PVA to kill any dust. I've got a piece of mesh from an old car speaker, busted speaker, from the cover. Now I just need to pin this on. Ordinary drawing pins. Just push these in. Last one going in. Okay, that's covering that hole now. Pin nice and tight. Now with the filler and the blade, I can start to get the filler in, pushing it into the edges. Just keep pouring it in. Really work that filler in. Go for a bit more. Ensuring that you've been going at this from all angles and you're not seeing any air pockets, then if you notice now, as I apply this, it's oozing out of the holes behind. That's okay, that's good. Ready for the next step. Now with a damp cloth, just wipe over this surface. Okay, now I can just leave that to dry. Not really putting any pressure on there. Just gently wiping it away. It's about 2 hours on now. This is dry enough to remove these pins. So I'll just loosen them off. Pull them out. Now I can just tease this off. The wet filler's brought a bit of paint off there. now I can leave that fully dry. I can just sand the rest down, paint the wall. So I'll wash that. That can be reused. I knew that brush would come in handy for something. With warm soapy water, just clean this off. That's ready to use again. So some paint did come off here, because this board, when I previously prepared it, I didn't seal the filler around here, so then the paint, when it's got wet, it's lifted off. I've got some 120 grade paper. I can now just sand this down. Now that this is smooth, I need to seal this with some diluted PVA, which I didn't do last time. Damp cloth, just wipe around the edges, leaving the PVA glue on. That will soak in now, stop any more paint peeling and just kill the dust. So 10 minutes and I'm ready for my next stage. Same filler as before. But smaller amount. Get that in a pile, make a well, and then using the PVA that I mixed up to seal the wall, just add some to it. It's a bit thick, that, still powdery, so add some more. Okay, we're getting there. Just keep mixing that up. Got the consistency to what I want it. Transferred it onto my knives. Now I can just get this filled. Fill in those pinholes as well. Okay. Now with the damp cloth, just wet the blade in. Now I'll leave it to dry. Now I'm ready to just sand this down. So with some 180 grit on a block, and because I don't want to take any chances, I'm just going to deaden that dust now with that PVA. And in another 10 minutes I'm good to paint that. As you can see, the paint lifted off this area, that patch I repaired. That is because when I sanded this down, all I did was wipe it with a damp cloth and put it away. Got the board back out and then painted the surface using a mid-sheen paint. So then it's dried here, not adhered to the surface, and then when I've been doing this repair and sanding down, it started to lift. So I took it back to where it was tight, sanded the edge with some fine sandpaper, sealed it with PVA, diluted PVA glue, and then now I'm ready for painting. So that's the reason why that came off. I'll leave that to dry. I'll give it a second coat. And while I'm here, this mesh, if you do think it may rust, then just use some shellac on a cloth and wipe over this. No worries. This is dried back well. Now I can give it its final coat. And I'm all done. For a larger hole, cut a piece of board bigger than the hole and then mark out what you're going to cut out, and then using battens put this in place. Then foam the gap so when you do your filling nothing will crack out, no vibration through the board. Also, doing this repair, this one, then the mesh, I think looking back, what might be a good idea is to mask off around where you're not filling, and then just follow the hole, cut round and remove the tape. Then that way, when you fill in your hole, you'll have less filler on the surface.